Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 92, Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top, 4 and up, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole if it doesn't belong there. Hole for the peg hook. On the top flap, G.I. Joe Classified Series, where the G.I. Joe and the stripes are embossed. Nice white stripe there, featuring what I'm guessing is a digital render of the accessories. And then we have a nice practical shot of the figure. And then some artwork of the figure here, or the character here. G.I. Joe Classified Series, and again the G.I. Joe and the stripes are embossed and does go around. The embossing carries around to the side here. Classified Series, G.I. Joe, Desert Commando Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Hasbro print. On the bottom, in case you forgot, plastic-free packaging. Except tape and glue. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, nice artwork of Desert Commando Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Classified Series number 92. On this side, G.I. Joe, that same artwork, number 92. Here's the QR code if you want to scan it. I'll hold it here for a second, or you can pause it if you need more time. And then down here, some information relating to his abilities or file card. Then we have number 92, G.I. Joe Desert Commando Snake Eyes. He's 6.2 inches tall, or 158 millimeters. Nice digital render of the figure and his accessories, and then some close-up on some stuff, which I'm guessing is also digital renders. And again, there's some file card information. Warning, attention, Achtung, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, especially don't stick it in your French pie hole. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Parents, GIJoe.com, small fine, legalese made in China print. This symbol I'm not going to learn, that symbol I'm not going to learn, and Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have some handy dandy tweezers, and let's start taking a look at the accessories. And there's maybe one thing new here, but I'm not 100% sure. This knife, nice silver paint app there on the blade, molded in this tan plastic. And this one came with the version 1 Snake Eyes. And so did this sword. However, it does have a bit of a new paint app to it. It's all molded in this dark brown, maybe plastic. I don't know. I'm colorblind. Don't make fun of handicap people. Then it has this nice silver paint app on the edge of the blade, and then this, I don't know what color that is, maybe bronzy, I'm not sure. But again, this one comes with that first version of Snake Eyes. There you have the Arashikage logo into it, and nice molded details into the handle as well. And I have to say, I like these paint apps on the blade. It makes it look pretty darn sweet. And then here we have the Arashikage sheath, and there you see the Arashikage symbol and some nice molded details in the sheath to give it a kind of a leathery look to it, and it's even got where it's sewn together on there. It's got a post here, and we'll get to where that pegs into a little later. And here is his backpack, and again, this is Snake Eyes version 1, just molded in a different color. There's a port right here for the sword sheath to go to, and post right here to go into Snake Eyes' back. And then next up we have this sword, which may be a new piece, but I don't think it is. I think maybe we got this with Storm Shadow, and it appears to be molded in the color here on the handle, and then a nice silver paint app for the blade. Very nice looking. Some nice molded details here in the handle and the hilt as well. Then here we have his Uzi, which I believe first came with the Alpha Commando's version of Snake Eyes. So that's pretty cool that he has an Uzi, because we love Snake Eyes with an Uzi. And it's got a couple of little paint apps on it here, molded in this tan color. At least I think it's tan. Again, I'm colorblind. I make fun of handicapped people. And the clip is not removable, just like in the Alpha Commando's version, but it does have some nice molded details there as well. And again, from the Alpha Commando's pack, his sidearm with the extended magazine. Nice little paint app here on the grip, and nice molded details throughout. It does have an extended barrel on it, so that the suppressor will fit on it. At least I say it will. So there's the suppressor, and there's not much detail going on the suppressor, but there didn't have to be. And there's a divot in the end of it to simulate the end of the barrel. However, it's not enough for a muzzle flash or effect, whatever you want to call them. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. From the head down, or from the neck down, this is version 1 Snake Eyes, just in different colors. And I do believe it's mostly molded in this tan color, and then these browns are paint apps. Now the head is, I thought at first it was the Alpha Commando's version of the head, but it is not. It is the retro carded Snake Eyes Commando head. And again, it's molded in this tan color, and it's got this brown paint app and the brown around the lenses, and this nice bronzy gold color. However, I don't feel like this polarized effect for the lenses is as good as what they showed off in the promo artwork, or the promo pictures for, and it could be just because, you know, digital renders, but I think the cover of this one was done as practical photography, and so it just the paint app doesn't work as well as the prototype figure, I suppose. But again, other than that, you know, it's all just that version 1 Snake Eyes, just molded in some different colors and a little different paint apps on it. And you can actually see a lot more of the details in this mold in these colors than you could in that glossy black. He's got this bandolier here. It's got 3 grenades on it and a pouch, and of course it's got a port in it, so you can line it up with the port in his back and put his backpack on through that. So that's good. And he's got a sheath for the knife and holster for the gun and suppressor, and no storage for the extra sword or the Uzi. Let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high, and you can see he's on that classic ball hinge and joint, or ball and hinge rather. And then the neck is also a separate piece, and it has a ball joint here down here at the bottom. He can look down that far. He's got some chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist. Mine, however, the neck likes to turn with the head, so that's something you have to be aware of. Butterfly at the shoulder. Goes back that far, forward that far. 360-degree rotation. And slightly under 90 degrees to raise the arm. Cut here at the upper bicep. Full 360-degree rotation. Double hinged pinned elbow, and it gives you that much bend. And this might get in the way just a little bit, but it's not much. Up and down hinge at the wrist with a 360-degree rotation, and up and down on this side as well, both trigger fingers. So that's good. Standard ab hinge in the torso, allows him to lean back that far, allows him to crunch forward that far. And then he also has a ball joint here at the waist, or a dumbbell at the waist, and it gives him all kinds of hula going on here. It does give him a 360-degree rotation. He can lean left and right, and it does give him a little extra lean back and crunch forward. So that's always good. At the hips, it does have that G.I. Joe drop down hinge there in the hips. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And he gives you the full splits. He can kick forward approximately 90 degrees and backwards maybe about 3 steps, maybe a little more. Cut here at the upper thigh, full 360-degree rotation. Double hinged pinned knee, and it will give you that much bend. Then at about the mid shin there is a boot cut for another 360-degree rotation, and at the ankles tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now as far as weapon storage goes, the knife does fit right in the sheath here. The sidearm goes in the leg holster, along with this loop in the front of it for the suppressor. If I can get it in there, there we go. And as far as the Uzi goes, he just holds that in his hand. And then we'll see if this works. I don't think it does. But here is the sheath. Here is the straight sword. And well, I said it wouldn't, but it does fit in there. However, he still only has storage for one of these swords. So there's the one that's supposed to go in it. And again, here is the backpack, and the sheath plugs into the backpack right there. But of course, if he's not running around with his backpack, if he's in full ninja mode, you know, put that post in the hole there on the strap, and then try to line it up with the hole in his back. So he can go sans backpack and Retro sword. Or, of course, you just line those up again with the backpack, plug it into place, then plug the sword sheath into the side of the backpack, and then of course he will have to carry this other sword. And I turned it around backwards in his hand. There we go. And he doesn't hold it too well, does he? There we go. And that, my friends, is a look at Desert Commando Snake Eyes and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have a bunch of G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes, starting with the Desert Commando Snake Eyes, the Wave 1 Ninja Snake Eyes, the Alpha Commandos 2-pack of Snake Eyes and Timber, and the Walmart exclusive retro-carded Commando Snake Eyes. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Desert Commando Snake Eyes with the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear and the Valaverse Action Force Scarab. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Desert Commando Snake Eyes, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Desert Commando Snake Eyes, I have to say it's not a bad figure. It's not a great figure. It is, based off of, at this point, in, toy times, a pretty much outdated mold. And I'm really surprised that they use this mold again, but, that's just me. I would have much rather seen them use, maybe the beachhead body like they did with the Alpha Commandos, or even just the retro carded, the Stalker body. Both of those are newer bucks, and I don't know, I think it would have done better. And it's not that I have a problem with the mold of that I keep saying version 1, but it's Wave 1 Snake Eyes. And but again, at this point, it's just kind of outdated, and they need to stop using that Snake Eyes mold, even if they're supplementing it with newer stuff like the retro carded head or the Alpha Commando weapons, or what have you. And I really honestly should have listened to my first instinct on this figure and passed on it. But what really caught my eye about this figure is the polarized lenses for its goggles that all the promotional shots had, and it just, the promotional shots look so much better than the paint app we ended up with on the actual figure. And they've done better lenses than this in this line. So I don't understand why. It's just very lackluster as far as the lens go, which was the most interesting part of this version of Snake Eyes. And at least I can say now, you know, Dusty has somebody to hang out on with missions. Not that he's going to get much conversation out of him, but somebody to go on missions with him, at least dressed in desert gear. And again, like I said, it's not that this is a bad figure. It's just, I don't know, it's outdated. I don't want to sound like I'm just being a negative Nancy about it, because I don't like to just be negative about something unless it completely deserves it. But this one it's pretty close to that for me. And like I said, I really wish I would listen to my first instinct, which was to pass on this figure, because I never had a desert version of Snake Eyes. Did they even make a desert version of Snake Eyes in A Real American Hero? I don't. If they did, it was after I was out of A Real American Hero, or when they switched it over to, you know, the Dick animated series or whatever. And when I say Dick, I mean DIC, the company who made animation. Not that it was always great animation, but there it is, my friends. Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you're interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.